Welcome to Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes with your host Bert Laporte, Damian Monte Carlo, and Angry Mike D. Alright, sit back and enjoy the ride as they talk about all things that rock and other useless knowledge you don't care about. And remember, every asshole has an opinion. This is theirs. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe.
All right, we're back. Another episode of Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes, episode 200 and something.
200 and probably about three-ish.
Three? Yeah, that's what
three
I
or
think.
four.
Or
So,
one or two. We don't know.
Yeah, I think it's about 3 or 4, maybe.
I got to say, where the hell you been? It's been a little slow around these parts. Yeah, you got to come back to the fold over here, guys.
Yeah, so a couple weeks ago, they announced the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees for this year. And yeah, we always kind of like compare and see who we picked, you know, whenever it was, like a few months ago, probably earlier in the year, I think, and see who actually came out.
You really look like a race car driver to me. I'm sorry, Dave. You look like you're a race car driver or something. Speed
Damian
racer.
was a race car driver at
Yeah.
47 years old.
Oh, with numbers. Don't be shooting out numbers.
I'm
He's
probably making him
24.
better.
27.
27. I'm
Come on,
sorry,
Mike.
Dave. I'm sorry, Dave. Let's get back to
That's all right. I'm going to be 50 this year, so.
Eh. And I'm not saying nothing. Damo?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't.
Where the fuck was I?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we're just going to review who went in and who we picked and who we thought were going to go in and stuff. And
Yeah.
I actually think it was yeah, not bad of a class. I mean, there's a couple people here I don't even know who they are. And then there's a couple people that I don't even know why. But you know, for the most part, you know, it's been getting better. Every year, it's been getting a little bit better. So
Yeah.
there's not too much bitching, you know.
Yeah, and I think whoever's interested, stay tuned till the end of the episode because I am going to talk to Damien about the Gene Simmons show we went to last week. So I had to get some information on that. And all right, let's start. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, class of 2025. Performer category. Let's start this off with Bad Company, Damo. They released 12 albums. 12 albums between 74 to 96. Big radio hits. Bad Company, Can't Get Enough. Ready for Love. Feel Like Making Love. And Shooting Star. What do you got, Damo?
Yeah, they definitely. I mean, I don't remember who I predicted to go in, but I'm pretty sure I had Bad Company on the list. Deservingly so. It was the first time they were on the ballot, which was travesty, really. It took so long, but first time they were on and they got in. So
Yeah. Mike Ding?
Yeah, I don't know too much about them. I'll hear songs from time to time, and they're like, "Oh, that's Bad Company, Bad Company." So I do know like they got a lot of hits and stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm going to say on their first time. I don't even know what I said before, but just looking at the numbers they sold, I'm going to say maybe they could have went on the second and third time.
ooh,
A little too soon.
No, for Bad Company, you
they've
nuts.
been around.
I mean, I'm just looking. They sold 5 million albums, which isn't no, you know, it's
But
not. It's not.
They've been around from
Songs on radio.
74. Yeah, they're
You
still
got
being
the
played.
crack pipe down, Mike.
I mean, I think from being around that long, I think they should have sold more albums.
Yeah, but they didn't stay together really that long. They were in and out. It wasn't a constant. 74 to 96. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, did they have some killer songs? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Paul
Yeah, they got a lot
fucking
of
Rogers. Paul Rogers. The singer. The singer's legendary. Probably the singer's more legendary than the band, right? I would say.
Well, yeah. I mean, he had. Well, the band in general was handpicked and signed to Zeppelin's label.
Yeah.
Swan
Yeah.
Song. So
Yeah.
you know, Paul Rogers came from Free. They were a legendary band. I mean, yeah. I mean, they should have went in 20 years ago or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they went in way too late. They should have been in 20 years ago.
I mean, Paul Rogers is one of the greatest singers of all time.
Yeah,
like-
no doubt.
I mean, when you name great singers, he's always in the the top 5 list of like
Yep.
the greatest.
Absolutely. And still sounds good. I don't know how many years it's been now, because after 10 years it's a fucking blur, but he did the Queen thing for a while. He toured with Queen
yeah.
for a little bit. That stuff's not easy.
Hmm.
Yeah, for me, Bad Company, yeah, they should have been in a long time ago. The songs still get played today. They do. Um, yeah, still big, still big. And there's a ton of tribute bands for them, and there's a ton of stuff out there for Bad Company. All right, so let's move on to the next one. The old Chubby Checker, Damo, released 16 records from 60 to 2001. Of course, it wasn't constant either. He has 2 number 1 hits, 7 top 10 hits, some big songs with a twist, Limbo Rock, Let's Twist Again, and Pony Time, which I never remembered this Pony Time song at
I
all.
don't know. If we were 75 years old, we probably know these songs.
Yeah. What do you think about Chubby Checker?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely should have got in. When we were
Way before.
talking about it months ago, I was reading up about him, and he was, dance music is a big thing, and the twist, that's a dance song. A lot of his songs were revolved around dancing, so you could say he's one of the originators of dance music. You could say so, and a lot of those early, late 50s, early 60s, pre Beatles, like these guys are like the pioneers. But most of them should just go in. So
Yeah, definitely. I think this thing with the numbers of only 7 go in, and then you have. I mean,
it
I'll go
changes
through
every year.
I'll go through the other categories near the end of this, but
Yeah.
it's like just put it in as one. You got to really break it down. The only subcategory should be if you want to do style of music, because it's not Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's fucking pop, icon or whatever.
Maybe producers or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
I think they should. I think they should categorize it. One pop, one hip hop, one rock, one hard rock.
Why
one
not?
Metal, punk.
Why not?
I just think it
fair.
should be a little more, like maybe 10 on each category, 5 on each category, or something. I mean, we're so backed up as it is with artists going in there.
Yeah.
And like, just make more for a little bit. Say 10 years, we're going to put 5 in of each category a year, or we're just going to put 30 in each year, or whatever.
It gets to the point that people are going in, into us, because we're older now. We still think the 90s is new. So when they say a band like Smashing Pumpkins, something, we're like, oh, is it too soon? Because there's so many older bands that weren't in yet. That
they've been
so
around 35 years.
it's fucking crazy, right? So
Yeah.
it's how time flies. Anyway, I'm sorry, Mike D, Chubby Checker. What do you think?
I mean, this is a no-brainer. I mean, why are we even talking about Chubby Checker just now getting it? I mean, come on, it's ridiculous.
It should have been in 30 years ago. Whenever
Right.
the fuck this thing started.
Whenever the whole right, he should have been one of the first entries in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It started in like the late 80s, so he should have been one of the first couple years.
Yeah.
I
mean, they really have to make it where more people get in, and not everybody gets to fucking talk. Maybe just the top tier, or make it more than one day. Whatever. Make it a fucking weekend thing like they do for WrestleMania now. Make it 2 nights.
Please don't do that. It's stupid.
2 nights.
Whatever. I mean, but just maybe just put in more. Like, they all don't have to play a song. It's
Right.
just get these guys in. Get the ones who
Right.
belong in there.
Or you do one night that's just, if you do 2 nights, you do one night that's just who gets in, and then the
And then
next
performances.
next night's a performance. That's it. Okay, so Chubby Checker absolutely should have been in. He should have been in a long time ago. Not even my type of music, but it doesn't matter. He deserves to be in. All right, Joe Cocker makes the list this year. First album featured a recording of the Beatles with a little help from my friends, which brought him to instant stardom. Yeah, I mean, he had Up Where We Belong. I mean, the guy's known for the way he sings, the way he moves on stage. Not my thing. The guy does have a unique voice, though, and yeah, Joe Cocker probably deserves to be in. What do you got, Ding?
I can't comment. I don't know enough about him to. I know more about Outkast than I do Joe Cocker, to be honest. with you.
Wow.
I know the song from the Wonder Years, that was the Beatles song, and that's really about it. So
Yeah, and it's a Beatles.
I
It's a
can't
Beatles song.
comment. Yeah, I don't want to sound like an idiot.
I'll sound like the idiot.
All right, Mike.
I'm not gonna
I
do
mean, okay, he has like a little over 1 million sales in the U.S. Like, I think his biggest song is a Beatles cover. Is this his first time on the ballot?
that.
Probably
I'm he's
not.
been on, but
I don't know. I mean, like, I think there's like, again, I think there's so many more notable bands or artists that can be put in over Joe Cocker at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anybody's going to say, "Hey, Joe Cocker really needs to go into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame," or "We're going to boycott it," or "We're going to scream at the top of our lungs if Joe Cocker doesn't get in there." No,
Right.
I mean, I just don't feel like it should be his day to get in there when there's plenty of other bands that sold way more albums. Hint, hint, Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
It's not really always about album sales because most of the most influential bands didn't really sell a lot of records, you know,
Right.
So I you can't.
But
really
there's a
always
lot of
base it.
influential bands, which we'll get to later on, that we say every year that's not in. You know, there's a ton of them.
But I will say, I mean, like if you look at Iron Maiden, they sold over 100 million albums, which is more than every band that went in this year put together.
Yeah.
So go for
Well,
go
you
chew
could
on
even
that
go.
one.
You could even go one further and say that they never had any hits, which they technically
Right,
they
but
didn't. So
they were a
lot of
band
it's
that
been-
sold that many albums without hits,
yeah,
which is
yeah,
even
but
more credible.
My point is they didn't need to sell records or have hits, and they're still a stadium act because they have
Right.
a
Absolutely.
rabid fan base. So
Right.
it's the sales and hits thing. You can just throw that right out the window.
Yeah.
You know, it's not even really that relevant. It's, you know,
I mean, I think if somebody has that momentum that lasts that long, what the hell? You know?
oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Okay, so I've been going first here, so we'll go with the next one. Cyndi Lauper released 12 albums from 83 to 2016, 2 number 1 hits, 8 top 10 hits on the Billboard charts. Some of her big songs, Girl Just Wanna Have Fun, Time After Time, True Colors, and She Bop. I think Cyndi Lauper absolutely deserves to be in. She was groundbreaking, MTV generation icon. I mean, all that stuff counts for something. We've seen Cyndi Lauper every day for years. You know, it's part of pop culture, right? Not to even mention the wrestling stuff and the crossover and all that stuff. And then, you know, and she actually has a great voice. The first voice that you kind of hear in the beginning, the first few albums, it changed to like, I don't want to say a Broadway voice, but she's got a big voice. You know, she's still really good, and she still looks great too. By the way, what do you got, Damon?
Yeah, I agree with everything. I mean, I don't know if I guess you'll reveal everything, but I'm happy that she's on there. I got no problems at all, and she also did the the theme song to Pee Wee's Playhouse. So
Really, I didn't know that.
Do you know what? I didn't know that either, dude.
and the Goonies.
Yeah.
And the Goonies.
What was it? Time After Time? I think that
Yeah,
was
it
from
was,
a movie too.
Goonies
I
are
don't
good
know.
enough.
The Goonies are
Yeah.
good enough. Good
Yeah.
enough for you. I don't know, Mike. What do you think, Cyndi Lauper?
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to go back to the sales, but she's out of all the artists that went in this year, she sold the most, 16 million, over 16 million worldwide. So
There you go.
you can't deny that.
Nope. Coming up next, Outkast released 6 albums from 94 to 2016 or to 2006. They have 3 number 1 hits on the Billboard charts. Notable songs include The Way You Move, Hey Ya, and Roses. I like Outkast. I don't know. I think there's no Eric B. and Rakim yet, but there's Outkast.
No,
I
think
did they go
get it.
in?
Yeah,
Okay.
a few years ago. Mhm.
Okay, there's still got to be a lot more that maybe should have went in before
Mhm.
Outkast. You
Yeah.
know? I don't know. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, I think so. No way. I mean, look, you could get to Salt and Pepper's going in, but they're going in through the back door.
Crazy. Yeah.
Right.
That makes no sense. You see, because people don't really, to me, that means something. Like Warren Zevon, Salt and Pepper, they got in because they're tired of seeing their name on the ballot, and so they put them in through the back door.
Which is crazy. I don't think they need to separate that like that.
That's how Judas Priest got in. To me, I think it's like tainted. You know,
Yeah.
that shouldn't even happen.
It's like Pete Rose getting put in the Hall of Fame when he's dead.
Right.
Yeah,
Well-
I mean, but they'll vote for him. So you know it is. You know, it's legitimate.
Right. Like really, Salt and
Wait,
Pepper
yeah,
should have went in under performance.
Absolutely.
You know?
Come on.
Yeah. So I mean, if I really got into it, you know, I could probably think of half a dozen other ones that should be in before Outkast. I mean, they had some good songs I liked. You know, I thought they were fun, but I'm not like a hip hop connoisseur. You know, I don't really know too much about it. So maybe they did some shit that is groundbreaking, deserve. So I don't know.
Yeah. How about you, Mike?
It's tough because I'm going to go straight to the sales on this one, which I baffled the hell out of me. They sold over 11 million copies worldwide of their albums. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a hell of a lot of albums to sell. I think they were a really good rap band. I mean, I own a couple of their CDs. I do like them, but do I feel like they belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame at this point, and which is probably their first time on the ballot? I'm going to say no. I mean, like again, there's plenty of other artists that should be in there, but I'm not going to discount them and say they shouldn't be in there. Never. But right now, nah, too soon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Moving on to Soundgarden, pioneers of grunge music and alternative rock that developed in America, Pacific Northwest in the mid-'80s. They have released 6 studio albums, notable songs, Outshine, Black Hole Sun, Spoon Man, Fell on Black Days. Yes, I mean, if you're going to put Rage Against the Machine in, you have to put Soundgarden, and they should have went in before probably. I mean, Chris Cornell, especially within the last 15 years of his life, man, he was the voice for so much stuff. He just was everywhere. One of the greatest singers of our time, probably. So good, and they were influential in that grunge movement, even though they were out before that really became big. Yeah, so Soundgarden, absolutely. How about you, Damon?
Oh yeah, actually, I mean, I'm surprised that they didn't get in earlier.
Right.
Yeah, they probably should have went in 5 years ago or something. But yeah, I mean, they definitely deserve to be in there. I think all 4 of those Seattle bands should be in, and it's only
Right.
a matter of time
Yeah.
before Alice in Chains gets.
Well,
in.
I can't believe Alice in Chains. That's on my list for I can't believe it didn't go. How's Alice in Chains not even mentioned?
Yeah, they will. They will probably watch it within the next year or 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Mike D.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Soundgarden definitely belongs in. I mean, they've been around since what, late 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they sold over 5 million albums. I know it's less than half of what Outkast sold. They've been around longer. They had a hell of a lot more hits. That whole Super Unknown album. I mean, not Super Unknown. What was the one? Black Hole Sun.
Super done.
Was that the Super Unknown?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that had what, at least 5 hits off of that one.
Big
That was
songs.
a big album.
Big songs.
That
And
was a
Bad Motor
really big album.
and Bad Motor Finger
That's-
was huge too. The one
Mhm.
before that. Yeah. I mean, just great band. Great band. Okay, moving on to the White Stripes. Released 6 albums between 99 and 2007. Notable songs, Seven Nation Army, Icky Thump, and Blue Orchid. I love the White Stripes. I love their stuff after the second album, maybe. After they got rid of that garage sound. I'm a huge White Stripes fan. Do they deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I don't know. I think there's bands before that should be in. But Seven Nation Army, you hear that song football season, sports, and in sport, you hear that song constantly. So I don't know. I'm cool with them going in though. What do you got, Damo?
Yeah, I definitely think they should be in, no question about it. And I'm not even a big fan. I mean, all you have to do is listen to the radio. You can hear all the bands that are influenced by them. Any band that you see that has 2 guys in them, and there's a lot of them now.
Yeah.
Is
The
definitely
Black
from
Keys and
them.
stuff like that. Or
Yeah.
yeah.
Who's that band? The fuck are they called?
Death from Above, 1979 was a
The
couple guys in it.
radio. What do they call like the radio program? What the fuck is the name of that band?
Daft Punk? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't-
I can't remember, but
I don't know nothing about
They all
them.
fucking sound. All these bands, they all sound like the fucking White Stripes now. So,
Yeah.
and when they're 20 years ago when they were huge, I mean they were.
They were big.
That's all you saw and heard, and they kind of brought back this garage rock. There was this big revival, and everybody was playing those pawn shop, weird looking guitars, those 60s
Yeah.
Japanese guitars. That was a huge thing because of Jack White and everything. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I got no problem at all with them being in there.
Cool. Mike D.
No, I don't. Maybe not on their first ballot, but yeah, I mean, they definitely belong in there. I mean, they were like that whole garage revival. That was basically because of them. I mean, they pretty much even brought garage music out into the forefront.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, they're more of I would say more pioneers than anything. Like I don't know. I mean,
I mean, the guy's a genius.
oh, he's awesome. I mean,
Awesome.
I think I actually like his solo albums more than some of the White Stripes albums, but
Right. Yeah, the guy's great. Guy's great.
I'm trying to think of the band that has
The 2 members.
that's like really big with 2 people in it, but
I can't think
oh,
of
there's a
none
lot.
but
Like
call it the-
MGMT has 2
the
people.
record company maybe, is that a band?
I
The
don't
Record
know.
Company? I don't know. Fuck, but
I don't know.
I think it's a band, the record company. They're I don't know. I don't like that stuff, but you just can't deny it. That
No, no. Okay, so moving on to the Musical Influence Award, which I don't know, just add them in. We talked a little bit about them already. Salt and Pepper, yeah, absolutely. They had to be a huge influence, especially with the female rappers and stuff like that. I mean, come on, they were huge when we were kids. They were huge, so I absolutely think they deserve to be in. Dame.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, they should have been voted in. They shouldn't have been in the back door. But hey, if that's how they got to get in, so be it.
Yeah, as long as they're in,
Yeah,
I guess.
definitely they should be in there.
How about you, Mike D?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they pretty much, were like one of the first big women rap artists.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Absolutely.
I think it's a little bit of slap in the face to have them going that way. But
I
Yeah.
think
like
so.
Damien said, at least they're in there. But I don't know. I mean, it's sad. It really is.
Yep. Next name on the list, Warren Zevon. Now, look, I only know a couple songs from Warren Zevon, but I know he's big, and he probably should have been a long time ago.
Yes.
So I say, yeah, I'm sure he deserves to be in. Dave?
Yeah, I mean, I know more about him than Joe Cocker, but I'm not going to say I'm a Warren Zevon enthusiast. But yeah, from what I hear, I mean, people have been fighting for him to get in, for a while. And so if he had to get in through the back door like he did, I guess, so be it. But, he's in, and that should make those people happy.
Mike D?
Yeah. I mean, he probably should have went in the right way. The name's probably part of the reason why he's not, because it just doesn't roll off the tongues like some of the other ones. But I mean, he does have a lot of hits. He's been around forever. I mean, he's a lot of the artists like him. I mean, he should have been in the right way. I mean, even putting him in you could have just put him in. It's not like he could perform. It's not like he's going to be taking up any time performing on the stage. Just put him in the main Hall of Fame.
Yeah, yeah. Moving on to the Musical Excellence Award. Just going to run through this real quick. Tom Bell. Tom Bell had a lot to do with the Philadelphia soul sound in the 70s. Worked with the Delphonics, the Stylistics, the Spinners. Yeah, so this guy, I mean, he definitely deserves to be in. Going on to Nicky Hopkins, session pianist, which I really didn't know who he was, but he worked with like the Rolling Stones, Jeff Beck, the Kinks, Steve Miller Band. So he played piano on all kinds of songs. He's been around for a long time. And then this one was pretty interesting for me. Carol Kay, bass player, session player. She's known to be the most recorded bassist of all time.
Mm-hmm.
She's one of the most prolific recorded bass guitarists in rock and pop music, playing on an estimate 10,000 recordings in a career
I'm an
of
idiot.
65 years.
That's the first
she
I heard
was,
of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was an Ibanez artist.
Oh, was she? See, I didn't know that. Well, I mean, she did stuff for Motown, the Beach Boys, Diana Ross, Frank Sinatra, the Righteous Brothers, Joe Cocker.
You've heard her play without even knowing.
I'm sure if she's been on that many albums.
Yeah.
And there was a video going around a few years ago that was viral. It was her showing Gene Simmons like some bass licks. It was it was pretty fun
watching that. Yeah,
he was not being like his showbiz kind of movie star, rock star kind of way. He was actually like pretty human.
Yeah.
Like, probably showing his real side, and just like she was like showing him how to do like some of that R&B kind of bass lines and stuff. It was pretty cool.
Okay, so the last person
I
going
like that
in,
category too, by the way. I think
I'd say it's a good category. It's a good
it is,
category
because those people
they deserve it.
session
Yeah,
guys,
a lot of unsung heroes.
writers.
Well, how
Yeah.
about like somebody like Kenny Arnoff? I don't think he's in.
Aronoff.
Arnoff, you say it. I mean, that guy's the guy, right? I mean, I don't know if he's in. I'm not sure if he's in, but
Yeah.
he should be in. If not, okay.
No,
So
no.
this next award, Dame, I'm probably not going to say it right. Do you want to say it? Do you know what it is? Because I can't say it right.
Ahmet Erdogan.
Ahmet Erdogan. Okay.
Yeah.
So Larry Warronker is getting that one.
Warrenker.
Warrenker. I'm bad with names, man. I'm just bad with names. Yeah, president of Warner Brothers Records and later co-founder of DreamWorks Records. So yeah, so sure, he deserves to be in. Okay, so this was our predictions. So out of the 7 that were picked. Okay, so Damien said Fish. That's a no. Soundgarden, that's a yes. The White Stripes, that's a yes. Bad Company, that's a yes. Cyndi Lauper, that's a yes. Chubby Checker, that's a yes. Oasis, no. Dame got 5 out of 7. Moving on to Mike D, the Black Crowes, no.
Pretty good.
Mariah Carey, no. Chubby Checker, yes. Joe Cocker, yes. Oasis, no. Fish, no. White Stripes, yes. Mike got 3 out of 7.
Damn.
And then I got Chubby Checker, yes. Mariah Carey, no. Oasis, no. Joe Cocker, yes. Outkast, yes. Mana, no. The Black Crowes, no. I got 3 out of 7. Damien wins this year's Hall of Fame predictions.
What do I win? Do I win the championship belt?
You virtually win nothing. We have nothing for you. So I'll go my rant first. How does the Black Crowes not make it? How?
Dude, I'm not surprised.
How?
They're borderline, and it's going to take them a few years.
I thought they would have been a shoe in the first time.
I don't think. I think I can name a half dozen bands off the top of my head that should be in before them. Motley
But,
Crue
I mean-
should be in before them.
Oh, I was going to
They're
get to
not
that,
in
but their fan base is pretty huge.
Yeah, I mean they should be in, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not surprised. That doesn't surprise. Oasis surprises me.
I'm shocked. Okay, so
I'm surprised by that one.
Oasis. I mean, I would have picked Black Crowes way before Oasis. I
Mariah
would.
Carey, I didn't put her down, but if she was on there, I wouldn't be surprised just because it's so fucking weird.
Yeah. How about you, Mike, with the Black Crowes? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they're not. I mean, that's a band that could just say, we're going to play Philadelphia in next week, and they'll probably sell out.
They could say 2 nights before it'll be sold out.
So, yeah, I mean,
Crazy.
Yeah, they're not an arena
Absolutely.
band.
I know, but they just got a
They played the
crazy
Met,
following.
3,000 people at Halls.
Yeah, but they could play.
Yeah.
They could probably play it more than one night. I would think.
They played last year one night.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always see them as having this huge, crazy.
but
following.
at the same time, I mean, like a lot of their stuff wasn't new. It was, they're following a lot of the blues stuff. They did
Yeah.
stray off and do a few different things from time to time, but they're very blues rock kind of like based, and they really,
Yeah.
didn't bring that much new to the table, even though they're a great band.
Oh,
Yeah.
sort of like the White Stripes. They
right.
they didn't reinvent the wheel, but
Right.
when they were doing it, they did kind of, you saw a lot of people following their lead.
Yeah.
Like this whole revival.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, look, I'm not saying that they shouldn't be in, but I'm not surprised that they're not.
Yeah, I am. I really am.
That
Now-
first album was a big seller. More, it was a big seller. I don't know. I think they definitely should be in though.
And then
At this-
even like Mariah Carey, she's like the Susan Lucci. Is that the remember the soap opera star? So she's never gonna go in. I don't think she's
Well,
ever going in. There must be a
watch.
reason. There's got to be a reason.
If she doesn't get voted in next year, she'll go through the back door.
In the
I'll
back
tell you,
door.
she's not getting in because they're going to have Beyonce going before her.
yeah, yeah. How about this one? Billy Idol. I can't believe Billy Idol didn't make it in. I mean, come on. He was influential in the punk music. He was influential in the MTV generation. He just put out a record that's pretty damn good that just got put out last week.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's
know.
like, yeah, to me, he's like, kind of like almost on the same level, maybe a little bit below Cyndi Lauper, I think.
Yeah, it's great. It's
to me,
crazy.
he's like a notch below, I think.
I mean, all in all, I'm happy with Soundgarden, Cyndi Lauper, Bad Company, and the White Stripes. I'm pretty happy with those going in. But the usual suspects missing. Motorhead, Iron Maiden, Alice in Chains. I'll still say the Misfits. They're friggin' influential. Diana Ross, Jethro Tull. I don't
Yeah.
get it.
They even beat
Diana Ross
Metallica
is in?
for an award. God damn it! How are they not in?
Right? How about the Smashing Pumpkins? I mean,
Are
if
they
they're
not
out-
in?
They're
They'll
not
get
in.
now.
They should get in.
They will.
What? That's crazy.
I mean, I like the White Stripes, but I would have put Smashing Pumpkins in before the White Stripes. Motley Crue. How about Rick James isn't in?
Really?
How's Rick James not in?
You sure about that?
Yeah, and I'll end my rant with that. And you'll never see these bands get in. And it's a metal, so it's probably going to get in. But Slayer, Anthrax,
James isn't.
Megadeth. Oh, Rick James isn't. Okay, I take that back. Rick James isn't.
2019.
So
You said
Sl-
Diana Ross too. I got
She only went. We did that last year. She only went in the Supremes. We did
Wow.
double check out. Slayer, Anthrax, Megadeth. I mean, I know it's heavier music,
Not a
but-
chance in hell.
Not
There's
as-
no way.
but
There's no way.
I wish there was.
Yeah, they got to invent a heavy metal Hall of Fame because no way in hell they're going in that
I
one.
mean, look how, and same thing with Motorhead. Motorhead was influential to all that stuff that you hear
They'll
today.
they'll
So
go in
was
through the
Slayer.
back.
You think they
Yeah,
should have been in there already?
yeah. There's somebody at the back door waiting for him right now.
Hey,
They'll go in through the back door.
I'm still surprised that Lemmy's not in the WWE Hall of Fame. I thought he would have been a shoo-in when he passed away. For that celebrity wing, do you have that
That's
celebrity
another
wing?
that's another
It's another show.
stupid fucking fake
Yeah.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
There's not even a building, and there's not even a panel for people to vote on.
There's no building, really.
Nah,
Not yet.
they don't-
They're thinking about making.
I
one,
didn't know
think.
that. Wow.
all the money they have, they can't build a fucking building.
I
That's
think
crazy.
I heard they were going to. I do hear they were going to. but-
Multi-billion-dollar company, and they can't or they can't have people like vote. Like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has like a voting battle. You know,
Yeah.
like
That's all crazy. But so that's our Hall of Fame 2025 rant. And before we wrap up, we got a few minutes left here. Dame, you went to see Gene Simmons last week. What were your thoughts?
I paid $30 for the ticket. It was cheap. If I paid $75 or something, I'd probably be disappointed. But I read all the reviews. I knew what I was getting into. He tells bad jokes. The band sounded great. He sounded great, but the song selection was a little bit lazy. He only played a couple of deep tracks. He played like 4 or 5 cover songs. I don't need to hear cover songs when I see Gene Simmons. But it's a solo tour. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're supposed to go see Ace in a couple weeks. So I really would like to have an episode with the Ace set list versus the Gene Simmons set list and compare and why. Because I understand playing a Kiss song or two, but why so many Kiss songs? And I don't know. I get it, but I don't get it at the same time.
Well, I'm going to say at least, Damien, you didn't spend $15,000 to carry Gene's shit in.
Man, sometimes I wonder if these guys do it just to see how stupid people are.
Oh, I think so.
Like it's almost like when these like multimillionaires or billionaires or whatever, how much money they have, like what gets them going through the day? Like, when you have that much money, it's like, you know what? I just want to see how powerful and rich I am. And I need something to feed my ego. I'm going to put a price, $15,000, $20,000, whatever the hell it is. And that person can meet me and see who actually pays for it. And you know what? There's a fucking idiot who does. And it's just like it's like the
That's
fucking
crazy.
Romans when Caesar used to go to the thing and just watch 2 guys like literally kill themselves.
Yeah.
The gladiators. That's how they would get entertainment. Maybe those rich people, they get entertainment that way too. It's ridiculous.
Look at this jackass. He's carrying my dirty jock
Like
strap.
what's that series on Netflix? Squid Game. What was it?
Squid
It was like
Game.
a bunch of millionaires, and they were betting on people, like watching. It's the same.
Shit
same
probably
kind of deal.
happens.
It's like,
Shit does probably happen. I wouldn't
I'm
doubt
gonna
it.
happens.
I'm gonna put a meet and greet for $20,000 and see who's gonna want to meet me. People are saying, "Ah, no, you're crazy," and then somebody does, and they get the money right in their pocket. And
Well, look at that art exhibit, man. That somebody put up this fucking banana taped to a canvas or a wall or something like that, and it sold for like I'm going to say like $3 million. This is about maybe 6 months ago, and the guy that bought it got the banana and fucking ate it. 6 million, fucking 3 million, 4 million, whatever. But it's like you ate the fucking banana after that.
Well, that's like, that guy's probably got fuck you money. You know what I mean?
I'm
sure.
The artist probably did it the same way while Gene Simmons did this, and anyone else does ridiculous shit. Let me just see. I'm going to call this art and see what idiot buys it. And then
Listen.
that idiot who buys it, he's probably saying, you know what? I got all this FU money, and now look what I'm going to do. I'm
Italian. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw a fucking string of fucking pasta on the wall and sell it.
And listen,
You know what?
we're trying too hard.
I imagine this. Imagine having like a bunch of FU money, and you see Gene Simmons is doing that. It's like, you know what? I am going to fork out the $15,000, and I'm I'm gonna drive him fucking nuts that day.
Yeah.
What's he gonna do? Throw you out? Kick you? You
Yeah.
paid the $15,000. You just like to drive him fucking nuts.
That's not a bad
How-
idea.
Okay,
How
Gene,
funny
what are we
would
gonna
that
do? What are we gonna do today, Gene? What are we gonna do?
Yeah, right.
That's
Where we gonna
not
go?
a bad idea.
Come on, Gene. What are we gonna do?
So we're gonna wrap up with pay the $15,000, be Gene's roadie for the day, and drive him nuts. Maybe like the way the Impractical Jokers, you
I
know,
would do that.
they handcuff Q to the mime guy. Maybe something like
Yeah.
like
We'll have to
That's
get
what
a
you
bunch of
do,
people
yeah.
and pull in that $15,000, and we'll
Just
do
to
it.
drive,
Yeah.
to drive him nuts and like
yeah,
fuck
a
with
GoFundMe.
Go fund me. Let's do it. We'll send somebody.
GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Mixtapes and tasty cakes. See you next week.